Good morning, everyone. It is the day before Thanksgiving, and so I'm going to bring you in and show you what I do the day before Thanksgiving when I'm preparing a few dishes for Thanksgiving. We're going to do lunch right around 1 o'clock, from what I understand. And so this is what we do. This is what I do anyway. So let me turn you around and show you what I do. I'm going to try to hold it still and show you what I do. So you can see that I have a case of green beans here, and I have some oats. I have the vanilla back there, and this is the container that I'm going to put the sweet potato casserole in, and so all the ingredients are right there, with the exception of the milk and the eggs and things like that. That's in the refrigerator. And then over here is where the green bean casserole is going to go. And so I have the cream of mushroom soup. I have the onions. When I got in there and started looking around, I realized that I had onions. Remember, I purchased 2 bags of onions from Walmart, but I found a box of them. A container of them from Kroger's. So I'm going to use those up first. And so I have everything prepped and set up for tomorrow for me to make these dishes. And what I want to show you is that I have a combination here, right here, of my home canned yams along with the yams that are in cans from the store. And so I'm going to combine them to make enough for this whole container to be full of yams, okay? And if I have some left over, then I'm going to make sides for myself and go ahead and bake them along with everything else. And then I will have, I'll have sides for myself in a small container here at the house that I can use for when I bake my turkey. I will not be baking my turkey on Thanksgiving Day, but it will be like probably this weekend when I will bake my turkey, the day after Thanksgiving maybe. And I'll bring you along on that process. But I wanted to show you how I prepare the day before, so I'm not in a mad rush to get all the ingredients together along with cooking it. All right? All right, everyone, I'm bringing you in to show you what I'm going to make for lunch today. And what I'm going to do is, it's a cool day today. And so I am going to bring you in, and a few months ago, let me see, when did I do this? I did this in October. Yeah, October. I made some Mexican lentil soup. And so today I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I made this Mexican lentil soup. And I just unsealed the jar. Put a little bit of water just to rinse out my container. And I'm going to put this on. And I'm going to show you how I utilize Food Bank food, can it up and create a meal. There's a lot, it's busy around my house, and Spice is not used to it. So you're going to hear, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to, I don't know, put maybe a half a cup of some pasta. It's just regular macaronis in there, and let it cook as I heat. Let the macaroni cook inside the Mexican lentil soup, and And that's what I'm going to have for lunch today. And this is the reason why I cannot, my soups in a jar is so that I can just toss it into a pan like this and add, if I want to add potatoes or I want to add pasta, I can do that on the fly and make me a lunch just like this with my own homemade stuff instead of the canned stuff. And so that's what I'm trying to get away from, is buying like the canned SpaghettiOs that I like, okay, and do a more healthy version of a soup in a can. And so that is why I am doing this. All right, I will bring you back when it's heated up and bowled up. All right, I'm in my office. It's lunchtime and I have my bowl here. So let me show you what it looks like. It looks more like a goulash, okay? But it does have a little kick to it because it is tortilla soup. It is a vegetarian version because it has lentils in it and no meat. And it is just absolutely delicious. I've tried it already. I've had a bite. My mouth is watering because it tastes so good. This is so good. All the flavors have melded together because of the pressure canning. The lentils are smooth in there. The pasta is so good. And then the other type of beans that are in there. Because I remember that I was using up beans in this. And I think I was using pinto beans and maybe some black beans along with the lentils on it. I have to look up the recipe again. But like right here, that's a pinto bean. So that's in there. It's just so awesome. I think there's some tomatoes in there and so once you follow that recipe for the Mexican lentil soup that I did on a previous video, you don't have to serve it as a tortilla lentil soup. You can add pasta into it just like I did today, and it becomes kind of a goulash with a kick. Now I could have done it traditionally and taken some of the tortillas that I have in the refrigerator and fried them up and served them on the side. But I wanted you to see that you can take those meals in a jar that you saw me create, add the pasta into it, serve it over rice. That's another thing you could do. Or you could simply heat it up the way it was, and then you could take tortillas and just heat the tortillas up and serve them on the side. I can see it done that way too. But anyway, this, my friends, is what's for lunch today. I'm thanking my previous self for making something that is shelf stable, easy to go to, and it's my food. It's food bank food because the lentils came from the food bank. The beans came from the food bank that I used in this. And probably some of the other ingredients that I put in here. All I can tell you is I think there's corn in there too. Yes, there's corn in there. The corn came from the food bank. All I can tell you guys is that this is so delicious. And it's a great way to utilize food bank food on a cool winter day or cool fall day. You guys be blessed because I know I am. Now, wait a minute. Let me back that up because I'm going to make dinner tonight as well. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. So, stay tuned for the next. I'm going to add it onto this. And then, after I eat my dinner, then I'll come down and edit this video and get it prepared for you. Everybody, I'm bringing you in. We are going to bake my salmon for dinner tonight amongst all of the ingredients for the things I need tomorrow. I'm not going to unprep to bake my dinner. So, what I have here, I want to make sure you can see it without pushing that button, is, let me see, right there. I have 2 baked salmon fillets that were already pre-seasoned that I got from the food bank. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in my air fryer. And we are going to bake it 400 degrees. And the time I'm going to do 8 minutes. And we're going to see how it looks. And I'll bring it back in 8 minutes. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm sitting in my office right now. Yeah, I'm touching my face. That's the thing. That's a habit of mine that I've had since I was a little girl, touching my face. All right, so I'm sitting here with my dinner. You saw me cooking the salmon. I'm going to show you guys what I have here. I have a piece of the salmon, mashed potatoes that I made, and it's simple. Everybody knows how to make mashed potatoes. You boil the potatoes, you drain them, you add a little milk, butter, salt, and pepper. Mash them up as smooth or lumpy as you want, and that's how I make mashed potatoes. Then, oh, my hair. Well, okay, there we go. All right, it's not like sticking out like that, okay? And then I have my cucumber tomato salad, and this is the cucumbers and the tomatoes from the food bank. The salmon is from the food bank, and the mashed potatoes are from the food bank. So this is about using what you have from the food bank, even on holidays. So it is Thanksgiving, and I did not go to the food bank this week because they are closed. And as you can see, the reason why I kind of stock up is because there are times when the food banks are closed for various reasons. It could be holiday. And when that happens, I want a pantry that I can rely on to make my meals. I also want to use the food bank food to create the dishes that I am going to I am going to make for my family during Thanksgiving. So, if the camera is moving, it's because Spice is up underneath the camera. He's looking, he smells the salmon. And by the way, I put the salmon in for 8 minutes. By 6 minutes, by 5 minutes, I was smelling it. By 6 minutes, I pulled it out. It was ready. I don't like overcooked salmon because it doesn't taste good. So let's get into this and let's, oh, and by the way, it did have the skin on the bottom. I did peel the skin off of it after I baked it because it's much easier to do that before I plated it. So let's get in here. All right. Perfectly done. 6 minutes in the air fryer was perfect. It's crispy on the outside, which I like, but nice and moist on the inside. Then, and the seasonings are spot on because they pre-seasoned it. You can't go wrong with mashed potatoes. And then over here with the cucumber tomato salad and of course ranch dressing. So good. I love cucumber salad. I do. And what this is cucumbers, tomatoes, and this time I diced up the spring onion that I generally just eat whole. I diced it up and put it in here. And so this, my friends, is what's for dinner. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. I'm going to get up early in the morning. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up in the morning at the normal time that I generally get up because I have my day planned out. I prepared for tomorrow. So I'm not going to be running all over my house looking for stuff because it's already there. All I have to do is assemble the dishes that I'm making for the family meal. Preheat the oven, assemble the dishes, put them in the oven and bake them. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. I have several of these, and what they are spirals that I keep. And then as I prepare a dish or can something that is not in one of my books, my canning books, I write it down in here. And then I write down the original recipe the way it is. And then I go and look at my pantry. And I see what I have in the pantry for that dish. And for the things that I don't have, what I can substitute for that. That's what I do, okay? So, once I figured out what I can substitute that I have in my pantry, then I rewrite the recipe to what I have available. I follow the recipe, so I have it documented what I've done, and then I give it a check or a minus if I like it, okay? Check or an X if I like it. And most of the time, I don't think I've ever come across something that I have created out of using a recipe as inspiration, but using what I have in the pantry and substituting. I don't think I've ever come up with something I didn't like. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to keep this open because the recipes that I need are here. All right. Let me give you an example. The the soup that I made for lunch today, it calls for chips to be served on the side. Okay? But I was looking at that recipe that I did, and I was like, you know what? If I took some pasta and I added it to this would be similar to maybe a goulash that my mom used to make. And goulash to me is just using what you have, okay, and putting it into a pot and creating a dish out of it. That's what a goulash is to me. And so that's what I did for lunch today is I added one ingredient to that soup that I made and took it like to a different level, and used some of the pasta that I have in my pantry, because one thing I do have plenty of from the food bank is pasta. They do give us pasta on a regular basis. And so using up that pasta by adding it to dishes is one way for me to utilize what I get from the food bank, being a good steward of what I get from the food bank, and creating something quick and delicious like I did today for lunch. Now, down below, I'm going to give you my email address, and I want you to feel free to email me at any time if you want a private conversation and not something that's public. And so I'm opening that up as being available. It's a new email that I created just for this channel, so that anything that comes to that email will be strictly from the YouTube channel. Okay? I'm also going to post some of my playlists. So videos that you have not seen, you'll be able to see them on a playlist. And it's quite easy. You just let them play as you're doing your thing around the house and watch the videos. Stop it if you have to leave, and then continue playing them. All right. And it also gives you an opportunity to comment and leave me a message on older videos. And I do read every one of your comments. I read them all and I respond to them all. So please feel free to leave a comment. Please feel free to email me if you need to. You guys be blessed, because I know I am.